Okay, so this week is week 2. So the goal for this class today is to practice what we learned last week. And we have a few new people that are here this week, and I'm so excited. And we also have people from last week who just maybe want to practice a little bit more. So we want to practice a little bit, very short, what we learned last week. And then we want to learn a few more signs. This week is short. We want to finish early because we want to be able to go to church. It starts at 6 o'clock. So we're trying to finish at 5:45. So last week we went a full hour. So that kind of gives you so we may rush a little bit, but it's only because of the time. So without wasting more time, Gladys is actually going to come up and she's going to sign and teach you the actual signs. And then her daughter, Elizabeth, is going to actually voice for her and tell you what she's signing. And then I'll come up and explain how you can remember it. And then we'll practice it. So for the first group of words, it is question words and numbers. So if you come up, paper here, if you want to look there. All right.
Hello, my name is
What?
Gladys. Sign name is Gladys. Are you guys enjoying learning sign language here in the class? Yes. Okay, you ready? I'm going to teach some words. Who? Number 2, what? Number 3, when? Number 4, where? Number 5, why? Number 6, which? Number 7, how? Number 8. Oh, she's on how again. Oh, how much? See that on this one? That's how much. Number 9, well. Number 10, number. Go ahead, teach them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. Just going to do the numbers one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Alright, so that was a lot. But you were doing looked like pretty good. So there are, like she said, for who, the way to remember it is when you say the word, who, you kind of have that O look, who. There's also another sign for who, which is kind of like a newer sign too. You may see, and it's who. We call it the ugly sign because the sign for ugly, it looks kind of ugly, who. But it's a lot of people sign who. So who and who. This one's just prettier, who. And it's easy to remember, who, because of the O, who. And then what. The way you can remember what it's really hard to remember what. But you have the question, like, what are you talking about? You're just going to half your hand. Half. It's the only way you can remember it. It's just half. What? There's also another sign. I think it's lazy, but I use it. It's what? It's simple to use, and it's just, we as like hearing people use it like, oh, when we're like, what?
I even go.
Yeah, without even like saying it, you just. So this sign is when you're like asking a question. Normally you'll sign, what is that? But sometimes when somebody's like, you're responding to something, you'd be like, what? So either one, depending on the situation, they're both fine. But that is the actual sign for what. But like I say, we tend to use what? Sometimes. When. So the only way to remember when is you have this here and you're like, what time? When is it? So you're like, is it this time, that time, what time? You're trying to pick which because you don't know when. So you're going around the time because you're like, I don't know. When. So when you land on it, that's when you find out when the time is. So when. And then where. You just have to know it. Where. It always reminds me of like a tail wagging, because they're like happy to see you. Where. There's no way to remember it. Where. Sorry. Where. Why or why. The best way to remember why is remember the ABCs. Why. So you're gonna, when you're asking the question, you're thinking why. So why. That's the best way to remember it. Is you're thinking why. So why. If you're lazy, like most of us, why? Middle finger, why? They're both used, but like we have good and bad habits. So, but you'll just see it. I just want you to know it when you see it, that it means the same. But that's actually like the actual sign. Why? So why? How? We learned that last week, right? How are you? How. How much? There's also a short one. Again, habit, lazy. How much? So the way it shows question is your facial expressions. Remember, last week we talked about eyebrows go down.